moly, bro.
Sorry, I had lunch right before this.
No, that's actually so fair. I also did, so.
What did you have for lunch?
I don't know. My roommate just gave me a bowl of something. Did I?
What do
And
you
I ate it.
What do you mean?
I actually don't know. I don't know what it was, but it was good. I was,
That's awesome.
we were just having a chat, and then he just brought out a bowl of something. I was like, all right, let's eat.
And you just ate it?
Yeah, it was like apparently from Uber Eats. So according to Uber Eats, it has to be good.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, I'm ready if you're ready.
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm
All right.
recorded. I did the claps and everything.
All right, here's my clap.
Oh, I actually could hear that. I think that might be synced. Dude, that's crazy. We're so good at this.
All right. Wow. I can't believe I'm saying this. But hello everybody. Welcome back to the High Quality Podcast, Season 2, Episode 1 at long last.
I would clap, but it's not coming through.
For the inaugural episode of Season 2, I have got one of my very close friends and longtime channel contributors, RHMan, to join me. Hello, RHMan. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm happy to be here, dude.
I'm being too formal, I think.
Maybe I'm just, we'll see where it goes. Let's see where this podcast shit takes us.
I'm feeling like Ellen DeGeneres.
You are Ellen DeGeneres. You're low-key the
ways.
Ellen DeGeneres of the SiIva community. Have you thought about that?
I've never thought about that.
Well, you're welcome.
So for those not in the know, RHMan is someone that I came to know in my real life. We were real life friends for a good period of time. What's that story from your perspective? Because I know it from my perspective.
Yeah, so essentially, it set the stage. It was like early 2019, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It was like September. I had legitimately just gotten into my first semester at college, and I logged into. I had just gotten Backroom, and so I logged into the SiIvaGunner email, and on the SiIvaGunner email, it has Gmail tells you exactly where the new login location is from. So
yeah.
Upon me getting into the email, there's a little email from Gmail that tells you where I'm logging from. So it just docks me for no reason. And then you saw it and you were like, and you DM me out of nowhere. And I was like, why is new guy DMing me? And then you're just like, oh, are you going to this college? And
Hugel dude, he posts in Backroom, he posted literally a message that was just the name of the town that we live in. And I was like,
admittedly, it was not hard to figure out. I've made a rip of our jingle, but that's funny.
Yeah,
keen listeners will know.
Yes, I'm not gonna explicitly say it, but if you really wanted to dig, you could probably figure it out. But he posted that message, and I was just like I was not connecting the dots that you were like logging into the channel for the first time. So I was like, oh fuck, did I just do something that like accidentally doxed myself? And then I realized it was you, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then we went and got like lunch. No, we got dinner with Hisa.
Yes, that was our
that
first.
Was
we
great.
went to the little local arcade, and then we got dinner with Hisa.
Yeah, that was a great moment. That was, I think, one of the first times I had met people from SiIva. I've met quite a couple people from SiIva, but that was the first time I've ever done it. In my hometown, sort of.
Yeah, and we like
so
remember
cool.
we like all three of us we like went to the bathroom at the same time.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I didn't know we were gonna bring that one up.
I mean, we didn't like piss together, but what we like went to wash our hands or something.
But like we could have.
We could have.
But yeah, I did not remember that, but I'm glad you did.
You don't remember we walked into the bathroom as some guy was coming out, and he walked by all three of us, and we all just kind of acknowledged him as we walked in.
This has happened to me like multiple times in many different friend groups, and I don't know which one I'm thinking of. But
yeah, and then we hung out like once or twice more throughout that year.
Yeah, we did.
And
I
then
think before Mag, and then
yeah,
there's also that time when I came over and played Smash and ate all your Oreos. That was a good time.
dude, that was you beasted down those Oreos. That was crazy. That was
Yeah,
also when I don't know if I'll leave it in, but that was also the time where I
yeah, that was hype. That was content.
But yeah, and then that was my senior year of college, and that was also by that point 2020. So then I moved home with my family for COVID.
Yeah.
And then we didn't end up really hanging out again until I came back in 2022, or no, late 2021, like fall of 2021, your junior year.
Yeah, my junior year.
But then we
Took a
hung out
while.
like all the time.
We actually did.
Yeah.
We were on like a schedule every Thursday. We're gonna get Domino's and we're gonna beast through some pizzas.
Yep.
Every Thursday. That was kind of awesome though.
And we would because I, even still to this day, I still am working on listening to every rip on the channel in chronological order. I'm still not caught up. But he would
But
come over.
you're not doing too bad.
No,
I remember you were
I'm in July of last year. I just finished the Chicken Nugget Cotton Eye Joe event.
Oh, how did you like that?
I thought it was actually good. I saved a good couple of them. I saved the Twiddle Finger one, which is really good.
Yep.
I didn't know there was a Galaxy Fantasy Mega Man 9 Cotton Eye Joe rip. That one is awesome. Wario's Gold Mine, Run Jump Throw. There's some good ones in there.
I'm glad.
But yeah, he would come over, and we would play the Binding of Isaac co-op, and would listen to rips in chronological order. And he like, you would know them all already, so like we'd be going through them and be like, oh, who made this one, or like, what is the joke on this, and you just would like snap know almost everything about it, which was so fun.
Oh yeah, I do know I have like an encyclopedic knowledge of like who made rips and like random trivia stuff about how they were out or how they like managed to get made or what happened to them while they went through quality control.
Which is do you still have that level of? I mean, I know you did 3-4 years ago. But do you still?
I think I still do. I like to think I do. I also like generally know people's styles well enough where I can, even if I don't exactly know who made a rip, I can usually tell because
really?
rippers have a kind of yeah, they tend to have a signature, and I've kind of figured out, especially I think it also stems from a lot of appreciation for how people make rips themselves. I've kind of been able and trying to reverse engineer them by like referencing them. I reference a lot of other rips in my own rips because I think it's fun.
How do you mean?
And like I made a rip of Ink Strike Shuffle like literally the other day, and yeah, exactly. And I always knew and thought of the original one by B Choban, which is a Gangnam Style rip, except it does all these crazy effects and like vocal chops, and I thought that was super fun. And so I tried to essentially just do the same thing, even though I really didn't need to.
Interesting.
With a rip that I made.
That's really cool.
So that was fun. Yeah, and by doing that, I kind of like I listen to a lot of rippers, I listen to a lot of playlists, and I kind of figure out like, oh, what are like cool things that this ripper does that I could steal from them. But it's always fun to just put a spin on things. So
I'm perhaps getting ahead of myself a little bit here, but I'm purely curious now because I don't know. I feel like we don't talk a lot of shop about your involvement in the channel these days. When we talk, it's mostly about either stuff that I'm listening to, or maybe video games, or maybe I'm asking you questions about what's going on.
Yeah, or I'm like yelling at you about like something playing Blatcher on stream.
All right, so are you still making stuff somewhat regularly?
Yeah, I still try and make stuff as much as I can. I've also done like, well, also because I think I like to stay. Ripping is one of the things that I think I find a lot of solace in doing just as a pastime and truly as free time. Like it's something I would do instead of playing video games or something. Yeah, it's very much like one of those pastimes that I can do without even thinking.
Wow.
I do still do a good amount of backroom stuff and some quality control, and I've been slacking on the email. A lot of other people have been doing the email, but I used to do the email a lot, and I don't really, but it's fine.
But I mean, so I, like, again, we can cut whatever we need, but like you're a busy guy. Like you have a lot going on in your personal day-to-day life with work and stuff, right?
Yeah, I think right now I have like two jobs, and I'm like trying to also pursue higher education. Right. So it's just a lot of work, but I think typically I'm able to. I think the reason that I'm able to do SiIvaGunner stuff also is because it's just purely for fun.
Yeah.
And I can, especially ripping in that aspect, it's very takes not that much energy to just throw a rip together, and it's typically if I'm really inspired towards an idea, it's pretty easy to just see through to completion. It takes a couple hours. I practice speed ripping because there's a challenge in this server called Ripping Resources called Riptober. I talked about this a lot when I was at your house.
Yeah,
I think.
I remember Riptober
because I kept talking about like, oh, I gotta go make my Riptober for today or something, and I would have to like go home.
You would leave early to go home and make your Riptober thing.
Yeah, because I can't lose my streak. I was actually really dedicated to seeing it fully through in like 2022, I think was my year I got 100%. But after that, I don't think I've gotten 100%, but I've been a part of like putting together the prompts, which has been fun.
That is really cool.
But yeah, that's essentially where I practiced ripping really fast. And I just gave myself a 4-hour block at the end of every day to just make a rip as fast as I can, and then I would instantly go to bed. And then I would wake up the next day and do it. But yeah, it's a good time. Yeah. I like rips. They're cool.
But how do you find time to play all the Balatro that you're playing recently? Unless, are you just leaving it open and idle on your computer? You're always playing it.
Playing Balatro is something that like it's when people like shake their leg or they jitter their leg, that's like me. But when I play Balatro, it's kind of like that. I just don't even notice I'm doing it. Like I'm playing Balatro right now.
Are you playing it right now?
I am. Check my Steam status, bro.
Dude, we're recording a podcast.
Yeah, but I need to get these gold stickers, man. I'm trying to get Completionist plus.
You're doing gold stake Balatro runs while recording a podcast and talking.
Yes.
That's great. When I do gold stake Balatro runs, it needs 100% of my brain focus.
Yeah. I play blue deck, which is really easy, and then you can just you're playing red deck, which is, I think it's not too bad, but it's not like, if you try playing blue deck, you'll find it easier.
I've been trying to play blue deck and it's hard.
Oh. Next.
Do you have all the decks golded at least?
No, I've ghost deck left to do, and but the thing is I want to do it literally all in one sitting, and I want to just from white stake all the way up to gold stake and just see how long it takes me.
You haven't done ghost deck at all.
No, I have every other deck done completely. And I literally could have done it ghost deck so long ago. Yeah. Because I also it honestly doesn't take me that long to complete one. Running through all the lower stakes is
so easy.
Just takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so literally what'll happen is sometimes I would just wake up in the morning and somebody would be just streaming something in Discord, and I would just go pop in and watch them and then play Balatro on the side, and that has been a lot of my productivity.
You should I mean, I guess you don't stream, but you should do it like you should do a challenge of like, can you beat all the stakes in Ghost Deck without failing once?
Oh, that would actually be fun.
Like white all the way through gold, no fail.
I feel like I might be able to do that.
Yeah.
I'll see. That's a good idea. But by the time this is released, it'll definitely already be good. I'll be done with it.
That's true. Yeah, we're recording this very early, and I forgot to say earlier on, in case anyone is confused, 15 minutes into the episode, um, the podcast is back, and if you're curious about more information about future episodes and what exactly is going on, we'll explain it all at the end of the episode. But we did, we had to get the Balatro conversation out of the way.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
While we are talking about games, I wanna take a step back. I wanna do the classic HQP formula because I love these three introductory questions, and I wanna talk specifically about you and your history with video games because my perception of you. I apologize if this is.
Let's hear it, dude.
As far as I am concerned, when I think of you and playing games, aside from Balatro, which is new, I think that you play Isaac and you play Black Ops, and I can't really think of anything else.
Yeah, that's kind of like what it is. Okay. I grew up a lot playing games. Like I really wanted a DS, and then so my first console was the wonderful Nintendo DS Lite. And
what a good system.
And I was a pure Mario gamer. Even when I got the Wii, I played so many Mario games, and I never played anything else except for Star Wars: The Complete Saga because that game is a banger.
Yeah.
But and then like I reached a time when Nintendo is falling out of fashion, and all my friends were playing Halo and Black Ops 2, and so I hopped on Black Ops 2, and I played a ton of Black Ops 2, and then I played a ton of Destiny, and then I went back to PC gaming. Yeah, I played so much Destiny. Head. Yeah, it's actually really funny. I literally just reached out to somebody who I saw on my friends list, Ludosmo. I saw them playing Destiny 2, and I went and immediately DM'd them about it and started talking about Destiny 2.
Have you played Destiny 2, or were you just Destiny 1?
I have not. I only played Destiny 1, but when Destiny 2 came out, I had moved into college, and I was like, there's kind of no way that I'm going to hook up my Xbox or do anything in the dorms.
Yeah.
I was just PC gaming, and I had gotten into Backroom at that time, so I was like, well, there's not much Destiny on the horizon. Also, a lot of my friends, I was started to lose touch with a lot of my friends who had played it, but
yeah,
that was a good time. I also played a lot of because also I had moved into just playing all the crummy computer games that like really sweaty people play, like League of Legends. And,
wait, what?
And
when did you play League of Legends?
I played League of Legends from legit 8th grade all through high school and then into college. And now I still play it a little bit. Not
really?
That much though.
Oh, we have talked about this before because I wanted to play with you at one point. Wait, didn't we play? We played one ARAM once or something.
I don't think we've ever played.
No, I think we did.
I actually don't think we have. Maybe we have. I completely forgot.
I don't know.
I played with a couple people in team now.
Yeah, I feel like you were playing in Rippers once, and I hopped in and played a game or something.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
It's so funny to me because when we were at Chipspace this last year, and you said that your favorite soundtrack was Super Paper Mario, which, by the way, is true.
Yes, I love That was one of my favorite. Probably my two favorite games from my childhood are probably Super Paper Mario and Mario Luigi Partners in Time, and which is funny because in their respective franchises, they're kind of the odd child of the trilogies that they're in. But I had a lot of fun playing them because they were the only games I had. So I became very fond of them, even though but I haven't actually gone to replay them to see if they're actually that good or whatever. But I did really enjoy them.
I think they both hold up. I mean, I guess I haven't gone back in a while either. But Partners in Time was one of my favorite games as a kid because I have a really solid memory. You know that boss where there's that Wiggler drinking the smoothie?
Yeah, and he can't put down the cup, dude. Oh my god, that Wiggler is crazy.
When I was really young, I could not figure out how to beat that boss. It turned out you just needed to hit it a lot of times.
Yeah, you have to hit his cup, I think.
Yeah, you had to hit the cup.
Isn't that the whole? Yeah.
And that was too complex for my little brain to handle. And then I remember finally, like maybe a year after I got the game, I like went back to it and I tried again and I figured it out. And then I just blasted through the rest of the game because it gets so cool after that. You do where's that giant Yoshi island, and then you go in that big guy's
Yub?
belly.
Yeah, I love Yub.
Yeah.
That's a great part.
Hey, man, I love Yub too.
Oh, dude. I didn't know we invited the Rizzler on the podcast.
Oh, man, that's the dream, actually.
Yeah, but no, that's coming. But, like, yeah, what you're saying.
It's funny to me. It's like, I feel like I view myself as a Nintendo-y guy, or like a guy that likes Mario, and that's not like, I feel like that wouldn't be a surprise to people, but it's a surprise to me for you that you had that same background in your childhood gaming, because I feel like it doesn't reflect.
Yeah, because I like had to, I kind of said goodbye to it after a while because I started getting into more like shooter games.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo doesn't really like make shooter games, I guess, until Splatoon came out, but I didn't really want to play Splatoon. I didn't have a Wii U.
Yeah.
So I kind of dropped off the Nintendo wagon until I got a Switch, and then I had a lot of fun. They've been doing there's some fun games on the Switch, so
we had a good time playing
my Nintendo fix.
We had a good time playing the WarioWare game on Switch. That was fun.
Yes, that was a good time.
Yeah.
And we played Smash a little bit. That was a good time.
Uh-huh.
One last note on Partners in Time, though. I need to like pay my respects because in terms of like ripping, I think those are the two games that I've like really tried to rip a lot.
Yeah.
And NBC has actually been an absolute champion. There's a soundtrack sheet that we have that documents every rip of certain games that are like completely unduped. So we're trying to rip entire soundtracks of games, and M and I like banded up to complete the Partners in Time soundtrack, and that was a monumental moment in my SiIvaGunner career.
It's fully ripped?
It's completely fully ripped. Like,
that's
we made
cool as fuck.
The last rip. It's really cool, and we like try and do that a lot. M is better about it than I am, but she did like Chrono Trigger too, and we try. It's a fun tradition to just try and rip every track in a game. It's like a fun exercise because sometimes there's just songs in games that just don't lend itself well to rips at all.
Like Long Elevator.
Like Long Elevator, or I remember we tried to do it for Paper Jams, and that was a complete struggle because there's like this random track called like Unnamed Track 2 or something. It was like an unnamed jingle, and people were like, what do I even do with this? And then this one guy like literally just showed up and made a Sparta remix of him saying unused jingle 2 or something. I thought it was hilarious. It really brings out, you have to be like super creative, but I think that's the fun of it.
I really like, it should be obvious by the fact that we're here 5 years later and I'm still like here and excited to do this podcast, but like despite the fact that my involvement personally with the channel has dwindled a lot since season 1 of the podcast, not of the channel, but I still to this day hold so much like respect and appreciation for everybody who works on it. And hearing you talk about this, I'm like, it's so cool to me that not only are you guys like about this shit the way that you are, but you're so about it that you create these like, like Riptober or Secret Siva, or like you'll create all these different kind of restrictions and constraints to like push creativity in a new direction, and it keeps things like always feeling fresh, always coming up with new ideas. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's because also like some of the thing is, I think there's a degree of ripping where it's like, I want to, when you start out, you're like, I want to put this idea that I have into a game, because when I listen to the track, it sounds like this other song.
Yeah.
But us in the team, our mentality has kind of changed a long time ago in regards to that, I feel, because in order to be like, it's like casual ripping versus like ranked ripping.
Mm-hmm.
In that we're doing it like fully for sport. Like we're doing it because we want to like submit stuff and we want to just make rips and just have fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, hey, it's valid, but it's just different than how it used to be done. I think it's like a different style, sort of. And I think you see that a little bit in. I see that when I actually check the email, because I think people in the email, there's actually a lot more ideas that I guess I wouldn't expect, simply because it's just a person and their thought when they heard some video game track and they're thinking about this sounds like some other song, and then they put it together, and I'm like, I literally would never have thought about this, and I don't know anybody who would have, but that's something that's like really unique and cool about it.
Do you think that the SiIva team has become like a little more like insular in that way, where like, because there's kind of this drive to like push each other to sort of, play ranked, that like, as soon as maybe like some new joke catches on, everyone wants to like try their hand at it, see what they can do, as opposed to someone on the outside who's emailing stuff in, who isn't a part of that that discourse. Someone outside of it can have their own organic ideas. They're not being pushed by what's going on within the team.
That's actually really interesting. I would say like, yes, in a way. I think there's people in team, like when we're all kind of sharing ideas around, and we kind of, a lot of people, especially like in our bubble, especially, we kind of try to there's a sort of culture that comes with ripping really often, and you're exchanging ideas and jokes and talking about the same things, and there's very much like a flow to that.
Yeah.
Whereas I think somebody on the outside, purely making rips for themselves, you just tend to see different ideas spawn.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's actually a very good thing. It helps improve variety in some respects, and like that just means that we're covering a bunch of different niches or niches. I don't know how you say it, but it allows for like a lot more different things that you never really would expect. I remember that there's an email sub by somebody who is rather known in the community, but I won't talk about it. But they made a rip of like, oh, okay, it's Overcast, a really long time ago, made a rip of this violin song that it's like it's called like Concerto for Two Violins, and it's the hardest thing that you get to at the end of there. When you're learning violin, you learn it on this like track by going through these books, and it's essentially the boss at the end of this one book. It's like book 7 or 8, and it's like a collective shared memory over people who have played violin and follow that same track. So and then I saw that in the email, and it got a rip, and it was like Bob on Battlefield. I was like, that's so crazy that someone made a rip of that.
Yeah, that is really cool. So on, talking about making rips and all that stuff, and I guess playing the violin, good segue.
Facts.
Did you make music? Did you play instruments? Did you do any of this before you got involved with the ripping community as a whole?
I played violin and piano when I was growing up. I wasn't exactly the most experienced player ever. I did
like it?
take lessons. I liked it a little bit. Not like a lot though. Not enough to practice, which I should have been doing.
Yeah.
But like it was kind of my parents kind of wanted me to have music in my life, and it took me a long time to realize that paid off really a lot.
You don't say.
Because it allowed me to playing an instrument actually does a lot for learning music, especially even in a digital form. I think a lot of people who play an instrument, like, it gives you a kind of inherent drive on like what sounds kind of right, or like when it comes to some music stuff. I mean, I still make off-key rips and all, but like it gives you a little bit of an edge up on learning the music stuff. But there's also a lot of people who have not done that and learned it all through ripping, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, that was me. I only played the drums growing up, which like half counts. Because it made me very good with keeping rhythm and stuff. But
yeah, true.
I don't know shit about like notes or key or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
that's like a lot of stuff too. It's but I think like at least then you have like rhythm and stuff, and that you're able to kind of translate over. Yeah, it probably helps with making all those rap mashups.
It does actually.
Yeah.
That's why mashups are still my favorite thing to do, because hearing things synced is like easier for me.
Yeah, and also it's like ecstasy.
Yes,
feels good.
Dude, I love making mashups.
Mashups are so fun.
So, okay, so now let's begin your story, because I'm interested. Like it's so. I think I don't reflect enough upon like the fact that we're such good friends now, because you were like this person that I was aware of in the community for a while, but just like totally wrote off because you were like in Vaver.
Because I was like a pleb dude. I grew up so like how it typically goes is like when you're a Vaver submitter, you grow up in like an alley, and they have like, and you're getting free handouts from like the people who give you free samples at Costco, and that's all you have to live off of. But then once you get into SiIva team, you get a big stipend, and then you can start living large. But anyways, like, yeah, I started out as a Vaver fan server contributor because I had no idea how to rip, and I was really bad at ripping. And I wanted to find a way where I could put my stuff up without having to worry about and kind of get feedback, because I was like, I really want to eventually kind of be with these there's like a Vaver team, there's a Timmy Turner's Granddad team, there's a SiIvaGunner team. These are all fan channels if you don't know. But like there's a lot, and I guess when I did it, which is in 2019, it was kind of like running the gauntlet. It wasn't really something that people thought of as a typical way to get into SiIvaGunner, but
yeah,
essentially I would just try to, through Vaver, I really appreciated it for what it was. It helped me get a lot of connections. It helped me learn a lot about ripping. There's a lot of people in Vaver who are really talented, and a lot of them are now like in SiIva.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of the old people in Vaver are just longtime SiIva contributors.
Yeah.
A good amount of them are in Backroom.
Yeah.
And there's just so much to genuinely learn from there, and you learn about all the culture and stuff. And I was an absolute pleb for like a solid 2 years, and then I moved up to Timmy Turner's Granddad team.
Well,
I got Vaver team.
I gotta interject because I'm curious. Like, how did you even come across all of this to begin with? Like, do you remember your what brought you to the community? What brought you to Vaver? Like, what was the origin?
So, this, I guess going back even further. So I had just figured out, I was literally playing Osu. This is actually,
what?
Which is crazy. I was playing Osu. And so I had like, YouTube had recommended me the Octagon collabs as Osu maps. And I was like, what is this? This is so crazy. Because I think I got recommended those because I was watching deadass Thomas the Dink Engine Osu map, and I was like, that's hilarious. And then I got auto recommended the Octagon collabs. And I watched the Octagon collabs. I was like, this is crazy. There's entire groups of people out there making these remixes of this like Sesame Street commercial. Like that's so crazy and weird and awesome. And then eventually I got auto recommended a SiIvaGunner video. And then I didn't get the joke at all.
Yep.
And then I clicked off of it, and I was like, oh, I don't know what this SiIvaGunner stuff is. And
do you remember which one it was?
It was, I think, Bone Trousel Day 1 version. And
okay.
I didn't know what We Are Number 1 was, nor did I know what Bone Trousel was.
Yeah.
So I literally just clicked off. I was like, oh, this is just like a video game song. And then I clicked off of it, and then eventually... And I checked their channel and everything. And I was like, oh, it just uploads like videos? I guess. That's weird. And then I got auto-recommended it again, looking up something else.
What year was this in?
This was in 2017.
Okay.
So like, I was in high school, and so I looked at it and I was like, and I got auto recommended again, and it was Start Your Engines Mario Kart DS.
Yes, dude, I love that one.
Goes into the Denzel Curry ultimate intro, and I was like, this is insane. That is hilarious. And then so I went to the channel, and by the way, by the time I've checked the channel, there's an entirely new set of videos that is there. I'm like, I don't know any of these songs, but this is cool. And I started to sort of explore it a little bit. And then I think I went to bed, and I woke up the next day, and I was like, what is this? Like, I think I revisited it at like a day or two later, and the video that was up was title, theme, and ending, Seven Granddad.
Oh, no kidding.
I literally looked back at what I had missed. I was like, this is such a cool video, because I had just started getting it. I had finally learned what We Are Number One is. And so I go back, and I'm just looking at literally all these like in jokes, all these like, I'm looking up all the reboot, all doing my entire like historian era.
You watched the SiIvaGunner Explained video?
Of course I watched the SiIvaGunner Explained video. I watched that. I was like, this channel is so crazy. And then I watched it, and then I watched the video where I think it's Chase talking about the channel and him ending the channut and then I was like,
the nut check one?
That's yeah. And I was like, this is so crazy. I literally found out about this channel like a day after it ended. I loved the bean, and I was like, I wish they had done more with the bean. And then and then 7 days later or something, they started uploading for Halloween, and I was like, oh, I didn't miss it. And I was checking every hourly upload, and at that point I was in full brain rot mode, and I had nothing to go off of for an entire week. So I was looking up everything about everything. I was going through like people's Twitters. I was going through the wiki. I was going through like every single bit of content I could get. I was just exploring the back end. I was reading all the AMAs from everyone.
Oh my God,
I think I read every single one, genuinely. And so I fucking studied. And then I realized that, okay, well, there's these other projects, like there's Tim Turner's Granddad, which I had subscribed to. There's Bobber, which I didn't really get at the time, but I got more used to because I started looking up. I thought that there's a couple jokes on there like that I thought were kind of funny, and I kind of liked how even though they weren't SiIvaGunner, they still had that sort of sense of community. They had their like set of jokes, that were all kind of like Scatman and like Goomba Got Back and like Rock My Form, that were all like very unique. I was like, I would like never see this stuff on Siva either.
Right. And it definitely stood on its own a lot more compared to like TTGD at least.
Yeah, I think TGD had some efforts to do that, and there's also some really good. Butter Building Fusion collab came out, and that was a
dude,
really
I
great
love that one.
TGD. They also had like Play Minigame was a huge thing for them.
Yeah,
and that was really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And so like I got really into the fan channel community at the latter half of 2017, and I started actually talking to people in Bobber fan server because I didn't really know where else to start. SiIvaCord was kind of I didn't want to just jump into main chat because I was kind of like an annoying little kid.
Yeah, how old were you at this point? You were what, like?
I was 16.
Yeah.
And so I was like moderately irony poisoned. So, but I jumped into Bobber fan server and like made some friends there. And I actually really enjoyed being in Bobber fan server. It admittedly, like, I think there's some memes made there.
It's just it's funny to me because like I'm sure it is different now, but in like 2017, 2018, the only like concept of the Bobber fan server and community was that like it was the place that people we banned from SiIvaCord went to. And so it was like this thing where like we'd like ban someone from SiIvaCord, and then we'd go and like look at the Bobber server, and they would be in there and be like, man, SiIvaCord sucks anyway, like this place is way cooler.
Yeah, there's like a couple characters in there that, and admittedly, like, I don't know, it wasn't a place for everybody, but
yeah,
it was kind of like the fighting rejects team. But we were all a good amount of us were like very committed to actually like learning a lot about ripping, because genuinely it was just a great place to be as a really inexperienced ripper. There's people who I was trying to like bounce feedback off of. I made friends there who I still talk to today. Like, and we kind of just I kind of use that as like a really nice place to just have a place to put stuff up and to become friends with people. And I eventually got into Varver Team after submitting like I think like 25 submissions through their 25 VIPs to them.
VIPs.
Yeah, it's all like, and then I eventually got Team, and then I think I became to like, I kind of got known in Varver Team because I was very active in Varver Team for a while. And then I started like, I was ripping a little bit for Varver, and then I was ripping, and I started to dabble a little bit in submitting to TTGD. And then I think I got
hold on. Question time.
Yeah.
What was your first Varver rip that went up? Do you remember?
Oh, let me see. I think I actually have it in my this is actually crazy. My first rip was actually a TTGD rip.
Your first upload ever was on TTGD?
Yeah, it was it was a PPAP rip with Unfounded Revenge. That was my first rip ever. And I submitted it and it was off key, and then one of the team members DM'd me. It was like, "Hey, all you have to do is pitch this down one semitone." And then I was like, "Oh my god, I'm literally gonna do that right now." And then I did it, and then I got up. And
was that like the best day ever, or what?
Oh, dude, that it was like getting into college. And that was pretty hype.
Yeah.
But then it was, I think my first Vava rip was like, it was like a Baby Got Book mashup with Play a Minigame, I think. I can't remember. I had like, it's like a Christian parody of Baby Got Back. I thought it was really funny. And admittedly it is still really funny. But it's cool. And it was like their reboot version of Goomba Got Back. So that's how that happened. And then, after submitting a lot within Varver Team and kind of getting to know people, like that's where I met like my good friends Chicken Sukai and Adam.
Yeah.
And they helped me get into TTGD Team and kind of helped me at which I got into I think in like 2018.
Were they already in it before you?
Yeah, they were already in it.
Okay.
And then I got SiIva Team, I think the latter half of 2018, August.
Mm-hmm.
And
what was your first rip on SiIva? Do you know?
My first rip on SiIvaGunner was It's Showtime. It's Everyday. It was an It's Everyday Bro mashup for Super Paper Mario, and so that was epic. I submitted that through a Backroomers DMs, so I completely circumvented the email system because seriously, why would I deal with that? The rich get richer.
How did you do that? What do you mean?
So I was talking to and essentially like I'd started talking to them, and they because they really liked It's Everyday Bro. And so I was like, oh well, I'm gonna go to them with feedback, and then they eventually, I kind of just was like, hey, here's the, and they were nice enough to put it in submissions for me.
Yeah.
So that was very nice. And then I submitted a bunch of stuff for KFAD 1.
Yes, that's
on the tail end.
That was my that was like the first time I ever really truly like took notice of you was you made I'm trying to remember. You made the Money Longer one, right?
Yes, yeah.
And you also did hold on, I'm trying to think. The Fortnite Friday one?
Yeah, I made a couple Fortnite arrangements.
Yeah.
And I made the Money Longer one in collaboration with Chicken.
Yeah.
And
so what was that like? Because obviously, in my opinion, making full-on arrangements is like a totally different assignment from making rips. But like, to me, I mean, I guess you said you had some rips up before then, but to me, like, I didn't know who you were before I saw those arrangements, and then those arrangements came up, and I was like, wow, this like guy from the Vavr team can like make these cool arrangements. Like, how was that?
That was kind of cray because I had no idea how to make anything before I started making sleep paralysis. Generally, I had made arrangements for rips, meaning like I would arrange something in a different sound font.
Yeah.
But then when it came to KFAD 1, I kind of just said, okay, what if instead of arranging everything with another game's sound font, I instead use Nexus, and then and then I just put a bunch of effects on stuff and started bopping my head to it and layering instruments on top of each other, and then that's how sleep paralysis was born, and how I guess my career as an arranger, even though I don't really arrange much anymore, has kind of took off, and that's primarily how I got into SiIva team, because I think people started to take notice because also conveniently they ran out of uploads, so they started having to check the email in desperation, and turn out I was just Deku Bop Dum them their knight in shining armor with my fan submitted arrangements made in Nexus, and they're like, okay, well, we can just throw this up.
Correct me on my lore here. I'm a little rusty, but KFAD 1 happened because of the upload thing, right?
I think that happened. I wasn't there, but from what I heard, it was because of it was like because YouTube wasn't letting us upload, but it was letting us do community posts. I say us, right, even though I was in Vavr fan server.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was which is interesting. But I think that's a smart way to get around it.
Yeah. So that put you on the map. That got you into SiIva team, yeah?
Yes.
And then I forget, did you do backrooms in reverse order?
I did.
Yeah.
So
which is crazy.
Like yeah. I did like a good amount of like work for like quality control and stuff. I like just tried to put myself out there and like start giving feedback on people's stuff.
Yeah.
Because even when I was in Vavr fan server and doing Vavr stuff, I really did care about making an environment where people were giving feedback on things, people were trying to improve, whether they're making like stuff that is like funny because it's bad. Like there's just a lot of different angles. And I have a lot of respect for the Vavr guys nowadays. A lot of them actually make like really good and funny stuff.
It's back, right? I actually was just looking at it the other day.
It is back.
I like kind of forgot that it came back.
Yeah, and it's like good. There's a lot of like stuff that I thought was really funny.
Really?
And basically with that and in getting Backroom, I guess I was actually like the first post Chase backroomer, in that I guess this is lore, but Chase used to have to sign off on all of the votes for new backroomers, and I think so maybe I'll ask you. I think I heard it was just with everything. Like he had to sign off on everything.
Yeah. Everything had to get Chase approval.
Yeah. And so, but for me, I didn't get a Chase vote because Chase was not there. So they just added me based on essentially democracy rule.
Yeah.
Which, I'm fine with. But I think it's just a funny trivia fact.
It is. It's interesting.
I walked into back room. I was like, "Oh, Chase isn't here." I kind of thought he was going to be there, but alas,
I just want to see. Like, let's see. I'm just looking to see when you got added. Oh wow! Look at this. I had no idea. We're talking about it, and I said. The reason I personally want RH here is not only because he has been very helpful, but also because I think he's a really cool dude and would like the opportunity to get to know him more in this setting.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the crazy thought that you that like me getting backroom led to us meeting up IRL, and like if I hadn't, then we would literally just never have met IRL.
Well, that's not true. We would have met at MagFest, but we certainly would not.
Oh yeah, but we wouldn't have met like in our hometown.
Yeah, and even in meeting at MagFest, like I don't think we would have quite clicked in the way that we did because we got to hang out more.
Yeah, true.
It really is like I mean, we've talked about it a lot before, and I think I talked about it at MagFest. I think I was talking to Seal or someone. I was just like of all of the people that could have just coincidentally been in the town that I lived in, it's crazy that it was you.
Yeah, that was like a life-altering moment. Genuinely.
It was so cool.
That was so cool.
So, okay, I feel like we covered a lot of the lead up, the backstory, as to how you got to where you are now. So now I want to just open the floor and just start talking about like what you have done in the 5, 6, 7 years that you've been a part of this. Is there any particular place you want to start in terms of things you've liked working on, things you've been a part of, any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so I guess I got Backroom around 2019. I actually didn't ever publicly come out as Backroom until I think it was actually said on this podcast.
What?
When Zach came on, he said that he exposed me for uploading, and I wasn't Backroom yet. I in the public I wasn't Backroom, and so if you go to the wiki, you'll see a site note on the podcast saying that I had channel access, therefore I had to have been Backroom, and I would not have it any other way.
Dude, I don't think I knew that. That's so funny.
It is hilarious, and the thing is like, for some reason, I just thought it was really funny to have the idea that like, okay, really it doesn't matter in the public eye whether I'm Backroom or not. I'm just a dude. But I thought it was so funny that somebody like connected the dots and was able to put that together, and I want to give them like a round of applause. That's really smart.
Well, hey, whoever you were 5 years ago that listened to that and put that together, if you're here now, you get a round of applause from us.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That is really funny.
Yeah, so and then I ended up just like, as a Backroomer, I think the couple things I've done that I would think I particularly like that I can think of is I think I did a lot of stuff around 2020 for Summerfest, the first Summerfest.
Was that the one? Was that the one that had the like fusion collab at the end of it? I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, it was like the 1-2 jump fusion collab. Yes, it was the first Summerfest of all of them.
That's 2020.
Yeah, 2020. That was a lot of fun because I also got to like throw in my pitch of Dat Boy Day, which was a
that was you?
Yeah, that was me. I cooked that up, and so I was like, oh, this would be a funny summer themed event, and then that I still really loved the turnout for that event. I have like a lot of really good memories there.
I think I don't know if it was you that made it. There's a Break the Targets Dat Boy rip that I think went up during that.
I think that's by Samantha.
Yeah.
They did a really great job with that. That's a really funny one.
But I'm gonna say this, and I hope you're not mad, but I remember going through that event and being like this is fine, but I wish that it was just Soulja Boy instead. Like why do you like Dat Boy over Soulja Boy when the Dat Boy vocals are like it's not even good?
Well, there's actually you can do a lot with them actually because
really?
He's a TTS. So in a couple, I think in most of my rips I tried to put in a custom verse because I would just use a Wise Guy. I wasn't Wise. No, it was. Daniel UK. You can literally just type in your own lyrics, and so I did that for I think at least 3 of them. I wrote at least 3 custom verses. They weren't very good, but it was just to do fun new stuff.
It's like AI Drake before AI Drake.
It was AI Drake before AI Drake, and then I made the first AI Drake rip. And
you made the first AI Drake rip?
Yeah, I did.
Which one was that?
It was Wily Machine alternative mix from Mega Man 9. but it actually started through a bit that I started. I submitted a Field of Hopes and Dreams rip to the fan channel Mysicked, and I described myself as Drake Guy, and I like wrote a custom verse about like Deltarune, and it was like really stupid because I thought AI Drake is really funny, because admittedly like I think it is.
It's so. I remember you being at my house one of those nights, and
and I showed you the Good Morning USA.
Yeah,
so
the one where he's like, whoopsie daisy, this girl drives me crazy.
Yes, and I just thought that it was really funny because the Drake AI voice is almost like it's like the monument of AI voices in a way. Like, essentially, you could track how well AI was doing at recreating people's voices by just tracking how well it can do Drake. Everybody used Drake as the example. It was like Kraid's Lair in terms of fan tracker. It was just Drake. So I thought that was like, okay, well, and this just to put in rips is just a really funny thought. So I did try and do that. And it was fun.
So the Dat Boy Day in Summerfest, you felt like that was kind of your first like big main mark on the channel yourself?
I think so. I also just did like a lot of like sweat work for a lot of the other events, like album uploading and like also helping out with like the DJ Professor K stream, stuff like that.
Do you like doing that kind of stuff, like QOC work and album stuff? And
I'll actually quote what Zach said when he was on here. He says like, yeah, he does uploading because it's fun for him, and that's why I do all the things I do. I also reached a point in like my SiIva career where I don't need to do any of that anymore if I really didn't want to, but I still like to do it when I can, just because I think it helps, and I like being involved with all the processes, no matter how small or nitty gritty or like busy work ish. Like I always still upload my own album tracks and things, even though I think everybody just gives them to do it. But I know some people also upload their own album tracks. But
I think like, especially from my perspective as someone who has, very largely stepped away from doing more or less like any of that kind of stuff, I think keeping yourself either, like on the upload rotation or like in QOC doing stuff like that, like it helps you stay more connected to what's going on in the channel. I mean, even if you were not doing what you're doing, which is like still making stuff, like that is still a way to be involved and stick around. I also wanted to ask, jumping back a little bit, one of the, your contributions to KFAD 2, specifically, I think the one that is worth noting is the Una Na one, right? That was like, you had a big hand in that, right?
Yeah, Una Na was like, I just remember that I had sort of seen, I didn't know or have any hand in the beta mix for the KFAD Direct. I think that involvement was, I just saw it and I was super into Big Chungus. I thought like Big Chungus was hilarious.
That's so annoying.
Dude, it is. And then
I hate Big Chungus. I never liked it.
Well, also, I guess there's some like lore to this in that.
Sure.
People on the team, I think we were all really starting to gel with like Tony Zarrett. I first figured out about Tony Zarrett due to Adam, like because he made this like rip of a Tomodachi collection. I think it's like food registration or something, and it has like it's a Havana arrangement, and it is. That was my origin of learning about what Big Chungus Una is, and it's also why he's credited as special thanks in Una Na.
Oh yes. Wait, did Tony Zarrett make the Big Chungus Una Na parody?
That he made it as a part of a bit in one of his videos. So he made this video where like he goes into like the Burger King bathroom and Big Chungus is there, and then Big Chungus goes Big Chungus Una Na, and then does his famous song. And admittedly that was like hilarious, but there was never a full version of it. So I was like, what if I made a Una Na full version, and eventually it started off as just one of those ideas that exists in the group chat, but it never makes it out of the group chat. And then I started making it, and then I think Kazu and Expensive Dispenser hopped on for vocals because I just posted a snippet of essentially what I had arranged in terms of the backing, and then they hopped on, and that was an awesome experience making that, and then having that upload. I can't remember when it was scheduled, but it was scheduled at a really funny time too. I think it was like when a lot of the ending stuff was going up.
Yeah.
So that was a lot of fun, and I distinctly remember my computer chugging so hard as I finished that arrangement that it corrupted the FLP at the end, and I don't have the final mix of that at all. Because FL Studio just said I was seriously working on a crap top to do all of that, and thank God I have a new computer now. But it just, right after I finished that final render, I closed FL Studio, and it just never opened the FLP again. I was like, okay, well, that's fine.
Wow. Yeah, it's just that one has always stood out to me. It's for sure one of the biggest arrangements from KFAD 2, and it was definitely a fan favorite.
Oh yeah, and Tony Zarrett, I sent it to Tony Zarrett, and he said cool song. So I officially got he I guess he likes it. He also made his own version of it with SiIvaGunner, which is worth watching. It's his own canonical version of Big Chungus Unana.
What do you mean with SiIvaGunner? What does that mean?
Oh yeah, so like SiIvaGunner appears in the middle of it, and he's like, I'm SiIvaGunner. It's a really interesting concept. It definitely deviates from the version that we put together, which is a lot more Siva oriented in that they're singing about, like, I don't know, the actual Big Chungus meme and like cool meme team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think it was good that I'm glad that he was able to like make his own version, and it was also very funny in like a very classic Tony Zarrett way. And we were able to get him to voice act for Big Chungus as part of I think Woodiana Stones, which is awesome.
Wait, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, he actually came and like voice acted Big Chungus reprising his famous role.
That's really cool.
So he's worked with us before, yeah.
Yeah. But my personal favorite thing that you made, like I still go back and listen to Hilltop Rave is your other. I love that one.
I'm really glad, and it might be obvious but like my arrangements around that time, I had just listened to the newest Octagon collab, which is the Glorious Octagon of Destiny, I think, and
maybe
I'm looking it up. It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, because
I
Octagon of Destiny came out in like 2021.
It came out. It was like right in 2019, and it was. I loved the Fort Francis and Hilltop Chase parts of that specifically, and I listened to them over and over again, and I was like, I have to arrange these songs.
Yeah.
And then I made arrangements of both Hilltop Chase and Fort Francis for KFAD 2.
Oh, I didn't know you made a Fort Francis one.
Yeah, it has It's Everyday Bro in it. You'll probably hate it.
Oh, yes, I do remember that one. Yeah.
But yeah, I liked putting jokes in my arranges because SiIvaGunner.
Why not?
Yeah, and it's just vibes. I was having fun.
I remember we used the Hilltop Rave in the 2020 MagFest rave, which is a good opportunity to start talking about that because there's tons that we could talk about with MagFest. And first of all, I feel like I could talk about MagFest with more or less anyone that comes on the show because so many of us have been at this point. But like, for anyone who has either been to MagFest or has watched any of the live stuff that we've done from MagFest, you may have noticed that, like, at least in some aspects of it, like MagFest is like RH and I's, like that's our thing right there. we've
Oh
had the
yeah.
privilege of working together on quite a lot of things for MagFest. So if we want to talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah. I mean, where do you with that like where do we even start? We were just
I don't know.
I don't know, because in 2020 we both kind of knew each other, except we hadn't hung out a majority of how much we had. But like by the
Right.
time we came back together, I think when is it? Was it 2023? Because you skipped
Yeah.
2022.
I skipped 22.
Yeah, and it was a legendary moment because we had hung out so much in real life. But and
Right.
now we do a lot of stuff at MagFest like together, like we did the chip space thing,
Yeah, we've done that for 2 years.
which is awesome, and it's
It,
always
yeah,
like a
it's so fun.
blast.
Yeah. That really is so. I mean, that's like if any of you watching, I'll put some footage up on the screen right now, but if you have not yet, you should go over to the SiIvaGunner 2 channel and take a look at the Rip of Samus uploads. There's the one from last year and the Totino's Mania one from this year.
Yeah.
It's like it's just a very surreal type of experience where we like, the 2020 rave was cool. And we talked about that in the other episodes of the podcast.
Yeah.
That was very cool, but it was also very um like in character. We kind of just like threw the cardboard cutout up there and did our thing. But Chip Space is like we're actually highlighting the individual contributors to the channel. It feels a lot more like um interactive, I guess. It's like a peek behind the curtain. That's always just like a ton of fun. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I highly recommend going and checking that out.
Yes. Like there's a lot of it's kind of surreal that it's just if SiIvaGunner put on a show. And I think
Yeah.
that's like a really fun part of it is that it's just people who make rips all the time getting and just showing what they've made.
Yeah.
And everybody is just jumping up and dancing. It's a really great time.
Well, that was a good moment from the 2024 Chip Space where like it started off and it was MTH and Dante's set. They did one together.
Yes.
And for the first like 5 minutes, like everyone is just sitting on the floor and watching.
Yeah, like
And
crisscross applesauce.
yeah, like it's kindergarten. And RH and I look at each other, we're like what is this? Like what do we do? And I think one person like took it upon themselves to like get up and start dancing, and that's when you and I like joined them and got everyone to like get up and start.
Yeah, because like how could I was just like there's no way that people are gonna we're gonna just sit through this insane rate. They and MTH and Dante were up there killing it.
They were killing
dancing
it, yeah.
their lives out. And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
they were playing that one song from that anime about the siblings, but
yeah, which is bussin'. and 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 then like I was like, oh, well, and we are like, okay, well we gotta get up and dance. And the good thing is that kind of tracked into this year,
right.
because everybody from the start this time was
Yeah.
just going crazy, and
everyone
that's
was like,
what we
we
like to see.
understand what we're doing.
We understood the assignment.
Yeah. And that's what's I just it's like it's cool that MagFest provides the opportunity, whether you're a SiIva fan or not. It provides an opportunity to like go and jam out to like this niche kind of stuff that like only you and the people there give a shit about.
Exactly.
It's very sick. And then we've also put on the raves. So there's the Chip Space, and then we also have for the past few years done raves up in there's like a nightclub in the top level of the convention center.
Yep.
And I feel like that's just worked very well because I don't know, you and I are like we're both kind of like SiIva hype beasts.
Yeah, that is actually that's a great label. We are SiIva hype beasts.
So it's been fun to like work with you on getting track lists together and gathering resources and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and feeding it all into the Zarlable machine. That has been an amazing experience.
Just cram it all in like wood into a wood chipper, and it just spits out into beautiful sounds.
Exactly. I that experience with you and Zar and everybody and Omni recently putting together the rave has been an absolute blast. I'm so glad that I also like get to kind of call the track list and like be like, oh, this rip would go crazy in the rave this year or something, because it was super monumental. And having that is really a huge privilege. So I really appreciate that from.
And you've also been on panels, yeah?
Yeah, I was. I was on the live ripping panel, and I was on the what else? Oh, and I was on the 2024 panel. I think it's
Just like
2024.
the
Yeah, it
SiIvaGunner
was.
panel, yeah.
The 7-year recap. I was on that one.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
You want to talk about like that at all? Like, what was your experience working on those kinds of things?
Um, I mean, being on the panels is always a lot of fun. I think we've gotten a lot better at them over the years. The live ripping panel the first time was actually hilarious because I was sitting next to Toon Link, and we had put together who was going to go on the panel like a day before, and they had just came out there like, RH, you should be on the panel, dude. And I was like, man, I got in a back room like a month ago.
Oh, that was in 2020, huh?
Yeah, it was in 2020, so I was like super new blood. But they're like, you should go on. And then so I didn't feel up to the task of going on to the main panel, but I was able to make it a live ripping panel, and I sat there with Toon Link and watched him stress out over live ripping, which was admittedly, people don't realize it's actually very hard because you have to sprint through your rip in 30 minutes or less. And I was very happy about how it went this year because Retro is one of the fastest rippers I know. He like streams it all the time, and I watch him make a ton of super fast rips. But like the rip speed tech has vastly improved. So back then, Toon Link just speeding through Ocarina of Jerry Temporary was a very impressive feat, and I was there to emotionally be there for him because I couldn't contribute at all, but he was just making the entire thing, and it worked out really well. So like that was really clutch.
Yeah.
And then like I was on the 7 years of high quality ripping panel, which was also really fun. And we did like some rehearsals of that too, where we talked about like who's going to talk about what, I guess what went into the slides. And that was it. Also, it was a different experience from the live ripping panel, but it was also a lot of fun just because I get to talk about SiIvaGunner and like essentially what I'm doing now, except just to a MagFest panel audience. And respect to all the people who show up to the panel. There are so many people who show up to the panel every year, and we are consistently blown away. Like, wow.
I don't even show up half the time. I'm sleeping because they're always in the morning.
You're me all morning, and then we watch you walk in. You can't find a seat because there's like too many people who are like. It's.
I made it in for like the last 10 minutes of the ribbing panel this year, and I just stood up against the back wall because I was like, "There's nowhere for me to go."
Yeah, it gets kind of packed. I have a picture where I'm up on the panel and I am playing Connections, so that was a good time. I do, but like that was right before it started, but you know, respect to MagFest, respect to everybody else.
Yeah. I do see on the topic sheet you just wrote Among Us.
Oh man, yeah, I want to talk about Among Us.
Oh, I mean, like, are we just going to talk about the game, or is there?
No, I wanted to talk about in relation. It's actually quite SiIva related because a while, we ran SiIvaGunner Among Us in. There's this like server that we have called SiIva Gamers, where there's just a bunch of people from the community, and we in 2021, and like during COVID, we played
like when
a
Among Us
ton.
Was popping.
Yeah, I back when I would tear it up in Among Us lobbies for like an entire year straight. We played so much Among Us. I have like an unholy amount of hours in that game.
Just gonna pull it up real quick. Keep going.
And also like, and that's not. I don't even think that's counting modded. So like, modded Among Us was done on a different client because we use Town of Us. But
what's that?
It's like a mod where it gives you a bunch of different roles, like neutral roles and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it expands.
And essentially like expands. It has like the jester and the sheriff and all these fun things that essentially enhance the Among Us experience a little bit. And so we played that a lot in that server as well. And a solid chunk of my time, and like I got to know a lot of different people by literally just playing Among Us with them that I otherwise would not. I got to know Shonic like super well because we spent hours and hours and hours playing Among Us together.
All right. Well, first of all, I took a look. Among Us is your 5th most played game on Steam with 558 hours, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah, I love Among Us. It's like one of my it's probably one of my favorite games of all time.
But I guess it never got old for you. You never felt like
no, it didn't, because I'm like a super Among Us sweat.
You are a super Among Us sweat.
Yeah.
You're one of those guys. When I play Among Us like once or twice a year, and whenever you hop in the lobby, I'm like, this guy's here to get it done.
I'm here to get it done. I'm here to throw a wrench in everything that you would have thought is you could be complacent with. I know that you're getting away with whatever, and I'm not about to let that happen.
It's interesting because, I mean, this is probably insight that I don't have. You could probably tell me about, but at least, from what I remember when I was a bit more active back in the day, like people on the SiIva team, like getting together and playing games like that was not very common.
Oh yeah, it wasn't really too common. Like something that's kind of crazy is that there's been kind of, especially since then, and it wasn't like caused by Among Us or anything, but there's been like an explosion of gaming and like collaborative people on team just doing a ton of stuff together, and I think that is awesome. And I just think that I have a lot of like really fond memories just playing Among Us with people, and it also featured in I was able to get featured at like MTH's Funny Rave set, like one of our games, which is really funny. There's just like a bunch of like clips out there of us playing Among Us, which was really fun.
It does kind of lead me to ask, and I can cut this if we don't want to keep it in, but like,
sure.
I think for anyone that is like listening and maybe isn't a part of the team yet, and is aspiring, they like want to make stuff, they want to get in on the team, hearing stuff like about SiIva gamers and whatever, like for me, when I go look at the Ripper server these days, it's like there clearly is a much stronger community there than I feel like was there before. Like back in 2018, 2019, it's not that there was no community, but it definitely felt like a place where like everyone was there because they're all contributing to SiIva, and less that like people were really good friends with each other, like hanging out a lot. But now it feels like there's like a more sort of, it's like kind of a larger friend group. Do you feel like that is the case? And like, if so, have you seen like new people come in and like have trouble acclimating to that? Like, what's kind of the vibe in the community right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's like, I know, and that's kind of what I was talking about in regards to the like people kind of figuring out, and the in terms of the boom of people, there's always like a bunch of VCs with people playing games, streaming
That's
games
the biggest thing I've noticed is VCs are always full now.
Yeah, they are. And I think it's crazy cool just to see that everybody's trying to, like, everybody's getting back on getting to know each other and do all this stuff. And I really would not have expected that. But I think it helps with the culture. Like, I think it helps everybody get on the same page of like, there's very much like people in SiIvaGunner who you can become friends with by just being in SiIvaGunner as well. And I think, though, I also think that there's also like, even in the outer community, there's a lot of better outreach methods. There's some servers now, I mean, like, that kind of stimulate people getting to know each other within the community. Sure. Like where Vavr fan server was for me, there is also like essentially a new version of that is just like able to kind of fill that same purpose. There's a lot of services.
You don't want to drop by name.
Oh, I actually can't. You're actually at the You actually have to plot that out.
I will.
But yeah, essentially, there's just a server that is, the one that I can talk about is ripping resources. There's a lot of people in ripping resources that, um, share a lot of like ripping knowledge with each other. That's a really good
like
place.
A public server that anyone can hop into.
Yeah, that's a server that anybody can hop into that has a bunch of, I guess I'm admin up in the server. I'm not like crazy active in there. I kind of got added for Riptober purposes, but it's a place where people like go to share resources and essentially get over the SiIvaGunner has all this access to all these like secret team resources and nobody else has them. But
so that's not really the case anymore. We've
no.
kind of opened up and shared that a lot more.
Yeah, I think throughout time, that used to be kind of the reality of things. And yeah, as somebody who was outside the community for a good amount of time, that wasn't really fun to deal with. But nowadays, I think there's a couple members of SiIva who really encourage posting resources outside so that other people can use them, just because really it was never exclusively about having exclusive access to these resources. A lot of it is just genuinely because you don't want to like just be, not a lot of people had thought, oh, let me like post this in this other random server that I don't interact with people in. We just kind of kept it in house. But I think that has changed a lot in the years that I've been in the community, and I think it's going in a good direction.
Yeah, would you say it's like it's more accessible now than it has ever been before?
I would definitely say that, and I think people are also working on improving that too. In ripping resources, we have like essentially I think there's a Google form that you can put in your resource and anonymously release it. For people who don't even want to like join the server, you can literally just release your stuff for the purposes of being nice. So there's kidding. That too. And I think that's a good thing. I think we're moving up and kind of growing out of some of those old things that we used to do a lot, but no longer realize that maybe we don't have to do that anymore. And we can be like we kind of give back to the community in that regard, because now, especially with how SiIvaGunner has kind of become,
right?
You know, the community kind of just makes what SiIvaGunner is in a way.
Right. It's not like how back in, early, when it was very early, like 2016, 2017, where like there was a lot more concern around keeping things kind of like keeping kayfabe, keeping things a mystery, not wanting to like publicly interact with the community in that way and like share resources. Whereas like now, without the community around it, like the channel wouldn't even exist. So like and like and also go ahead.
Oh no, like the people who, there's just a cycle of generations within the community. Like essentially what I think is cool to think about is that there's like it's almost like classes. There's like the class of 2016, there's the class of 2017, like, and it literally just keeps on going. And every time it's just this constant cycle of people who get in a team and kind of like, and then there's new people who join the community, and then eventually they work up and they're able to kind of get rips on SiIva and show what they're all about. And I think it's a cool cycle, and that's how SiIva is kind of self-maintaining. Because
no, go ahead.
I actually didn't have anything to say, so that's dope.
My question for you was like, I guess it's a two-part question. So where, like, given where the channel is at, given where the community's at, given how much energy is still around this channel and this project even to this point, like how much longer do you see yourself being involved with it, and how much longer do you see it going as a whole?
I see it going indefinitely until there is a mechanism that is there to stop it, such as, well, copyright, etc. My hypothesis, and I really hope I'm wrong, is that the channel will end eventually whenever some company gets pissed off enough at what we're doing to strike us off the earth like they did with GilvaCenter. And I think that's going to be, and then I think we've gotten very lucky with being able to recover from things like, like when Chase did the whole, they all requested to get the channel back up, and then miraculously it showed back up. I don't think that we're going to be that lucky forever. So
that was how I like got Backroom, is when the channel got nuked by Sony Music Entertainment Japan.
Yeah.
That happened during MagFest. The channel just got deleted, and I was around and helping out, and that eventually got me bumped up. But like, we did get the channel was gone for a while.
Yeah, I think that's like crazy to think about, and I just think that we've been very lucky, but I don't actually think that we're always going to be that lucky, and I think that will eventually be the end of the channel. But as for my involvement, I don't really see myself quitting unless, like, I don't know, something crazy happens, but I don't know what crazy thing could happen to make me quit. I've kind of just accepted that it's just part of what I like to do and who I am. And it's something like, I don't expect somebody who likes video games to ever be like, no, I think I'm going to give up video games in like 2 years or something.
Right.
Like, no, it's always something that I'll just enjoy doing. If I had to give up ripping, I'd probably go crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's good that you still have it like in your blood.
No, it is still very much in my blood.
There's a couple other things on here that I wanted to at least touch on, mostly because I don't know what they mean.
Let's see.
I want to start with Omoricron.
Oh, yeah. This is like a really good memory for me because obviously the channel went through COVID. So there's a lot of people and it's something that I wanted to talk about more broadly, in that I think rips, especially with the lifespan of the channel, I've kind of used it as a way to document essentially what I've been going through in my IRL life by making rips that are relevant to what they are. Like, so essentially what happened is, after MagFest, not like I got COVID from MagFest. I actually didn't, somehow. But
was this in 2022 you're talking about?
2022. Yeah, I did. And I didn't get COVID, and I was very happy. And then a week later, I went to a party, and then I did get COVID. And then I was like, oh, shoot. And so I'm in bed, and I had played Amori on that Christmas break. And so I started doing this thing where, like, every day I had COVID, I'd make another Amori rip. And so I called it Omoricron. And EG9371, the legend, and Retro Gaming, also, we're just hopping in, and like we were all going together and like making a bunch of Amori rips together. And it was honestly like one of the best memories I have of that year. Every time I scroll through my rip playlist and I see those, I'm like, damn, that was a good time. Just because I was making stuff literally for fun, like challenging myself to make something every single time. And then I remember how I was sick and had COVID.
Well, it's interesting because when I was looking, Omori is your 7th most played game on Steam at 99.2 hours, which is a lot for
which
Omori.
Is crazy. Yeah, I have a lot of hours on Omori because I tried to 100% it at one point, and then I had to replay the game again, and I tried to do it with mods, and then they all broke each other, and then I couldn't play it anymore because one of the mini games that I needed to do an achievement didn't work. So
because of the mods.
Yeah, so then I essentially soft locked myself and then stopped playing. But I have a lot of really hard achievements to get on that game. There's a lot of like 100%-ish achievements that I have and that I want to eventually complete, because I want to have my Steam page be Only Up, Catgirl Lover, and then Omori as my 3 100%ed games. And I'm working on it.
I am, I'm looking through the rest of your stuff. You don't have any other, like, at least it doesn't seem like you have many other like RPGs in here. What is it about Omori that really like pulled you in and made you not only play it so much, but then rip it so much?
Something that's really interesting about well, I honestly, my friends kind of just like, we're all pretty in on Amori, and like I spoke to one of my friends who uh I actually met through like Valver fan server, and we were both talking
Uh-huh.
about Amori, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's a good game. Like you should play it." And I was like, "Oh, I guess." Because I'd never really played Undertale either, but I was like, "Oh, I guess
Yeah.
I'll play Amori, like just to get the experience of playing one of these like RPGs." It was also kind of like a meme, and
Yeah, it
so
was.
I was like, "Oh, I'll play it." And I played it, and I was like, "Dang, this game has hands." And then I was like, in order to get over the brain rot of playing the game, I was like, oh, I just have to make a bunch of rips of it now, and then eventually I'll stop thinking about this game. And making rips of the game is really fun because it's a stream soundtrack. It's all MP3s, but a lot of the composer instruments are actually documented. There's an entire sound sources sheet that has everything that Pedro Silva used, which is really just, and also EG just gave me the drop. It's just Super Audio Cart. It's like this plugin on Contact, and it has a bunch of like retro gaming ish sounds. And
Retro gaming.
yeah, and essentially Pedro Silva just used a lot of that, and it became pretty. It was not too hard to. It was fun to just put rips together based on those sound sources findings, and that was the first time I had ever really like dabbled in that stuff.
Uh-huh.
And also the demux and like MVSEP stuff, like the AI source separation, had just hit a major milestone.
Yeah, that stuff is
By
crazy now.
having good, that was like around the time when we started having really good drum separations. So I made a
Mhm.
lot of arrangements where like the drums from the original track came in, because demux allowed me to just do that without having to spend hours in ISSE separating them
Yeah.
out by hand. And I'm really glad that happened. So, you know, it's just a lot of fun stuff. And I
Yeah.
have tried to keep that going by like using, like making rips based on songs I'll hear just in my regular life. And I think a lot of rippers do this too, sort of as
Mhm.
to kind of document what era or like some memory they have that otherwise I'd forget. Like I probably would have
Yeah.
forgotten a lot about that having.
Yeah, I never really thought about the idea of I haven't done it personally, but that's the concept of like using the channel and rips for it as like a
Like
almost
a
like a
photo
personal
album.
time capsule sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I also made like a rip that is based on like a friend group in joke I have like for my friends in real life, and then it got
Uh-huh.
copyright striked. So I guess so that kind of went down the drain, but it's okay. That was it was good anyway.
Yeah. Um Sick. And then I assume I actually just realized now. I assume when you say SiIvaGunner generations, you're just talking about like the different eras.
I'm talking about, yeah, the different eras, the different people that kind of like show up in each generation of newer rippers. And what's crazy is that now they're all like in backroom with me and us.
Uh-huh.
And I remember like back in the day when, because I know back in the day when I like ran the gauntlet from Bobber fan server to uh Siva backroom, like that was
Mhm.
like, oh my god, the first two had ever done it. But now the thing is like everybody, that's everybody's route now. I think
Everyone's done
like
that.
I was literally like, um, I remember when Menindo and like Madden Stance were like in Vavra fan server, and they were like, they we all start somewhere.
Yeah. I actually didn't know they started in Vavr.
Yeah, I got reminded of it because I think I got linked a message, and I saw both of them in it. It was just got linked a really old message in Vavra fan server, and I saw both of them, and it was really funny because if you ever scroll up in a server that kind of works like that, if you
Mhm.
just go really far back, it's just all the people in the highest positions talking to each other, and
Yeah.
and so that's essentially what I got to see.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, it's interesting, and that's why I think about like SIVA generations, and I think that's why it's gonna self sustain, and it's gonna probably go until people lose interest in it. But I don't think that will ever happen because it's kind of a medium now.
Right. What's cool is that, like, for people on the outside who maybe don't know sort of like the inner workings, I don't think this is a huge leak, but like as RH is saying, like over the course of time, basically the people who have been around for longer, no one like cycles out by like force or anything. No one's ever like, your time is done, but just the way that life goes, I at 26 have much less capacity to do stuff than I did when I was 20.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and so, it's like this natural sort of thing where like, people who have been around for a while, they take a back seat, and then, new people sort of come in and fill that gap. So the channel effectively, with the exception of MTH, who's kind of always been there and been the figurehead, at least since at least in the post Chase era.
Yeah.
Um, the main like operations of the channel have kind of changed hands a couple times over the last 5 or 6 years, and even though that has happened, like the identity of the channel, the way the channel like handles things and what it does like has remained relatively consistent. And I think that it's noteworthy because like I think it's cool that even still like the channel has its identity, and people who want to go in and help it don't want to change it into something it isn't. They just want to keep it the thing
Keep it
that it
running.
is and keep it going. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's so cool to just, I think, experience that, and to be a part of it is honestly an honor.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, I started out, like, way back then, just kind of being a fan who was, like, super into SiIvaGunner and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And now I get to kind of see it at a different
And
angle.
I think that's why you and I click so well, is because at the end of the day, like we are both just huge Siva fans. And
That's true.
like when we hear something cool, like we will be excited about it, and we will appreciate it just the same as someone who has nothing to do with the channel in terms of working on it. Like we still have that appreciation and love for like the craft.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of, it's actually really interesting in that I've also heard a lot from people who kind of like, people take breaks from the team, and I've
Uh-huh.
had conversations with them, and it's really nice to reconnect with being just a fan and not seeing all the inside stuff. I love all
Yeah.
the inside stuff, and I think it enhances the effect, but it doesn't always. And I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of people who, like, even the fan experience is so, like, unique, and you just get appreciation about things. You kind of jump in on it's just two different wavelengths, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I think being on the inside of it, definitely it can enhance the experience, but the one thing that it takes away, at least for me, is the element of surprise. Like
Yeah.
I love seeing an upload on the channel that I had no idea. Even just yesterday, SSBCL linked it. The rip that went up of Mr. X's theme from Mega Man 6. Yes, Mr.
Yeah.
X's castle. And it's the like John Cena song, but it's pitched
Yes.
to be, like that's the type of thing where like if I was still very active in rippers and looking at submissions and stuff, like I'd be like, oh wow, this is cool. But seeing that come up on the channel, I had like a no way moment.
Yeah. it it's really like, watching the channel is just so fun because you click on it and you get the element of surprise. I just read the joke descriptions and then I know exactly what I'm getting into, which is kind
Right,
of
right.
cheating, but like, you know, I just like that stuff. Also,
Right.
since I don't have that much time to really listen to all of them, I like to call and listen to the ones that I kind of want to. So that helps
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. I definitely, this last year's worth of rips, I definitely am speeding through faster than usual because there are just a lot of them that are like, it's this song from Pokemon, but it's swapped to Stuck Inside, and I'm just like, I don't care.
Hey, dude. Yeah. Well, I have there's a lot of, I think rips fit different people. I listen to like
Hmm.
just kind of whatever I want. Um, there's a lot of I show meat rips this year that I really liked. because I think iShowMeet's really funny. Because
funny.
iShowSpeed is also just like an insane streamer.
Yeah.
Which kind of. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say just like I think when you say like different rips fit different people, like I have become rather narrow in my like at this point, like if it's a rip that has like some kind of like hip hop beat over it, it's like an instant 10 for me.
Yeah, you'll love that stuff.
Like pretty much anything else, I have a lot lower tolerance for, but obviously I know that there are people who like this stuff because we keep making it. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, I think we're sort of coming up on a time here. Is there anything else that you wanted to like talk about, open up, go over?
I think let me just read. I think I mostly got into everything I really wanted to, but thank you for having me on. This is honestly really fun.
Of course, honestly, I think, so now I'll peel the curtain back a little bit. Basically what happened was apparently there's just like been talk about this podcast on and off for the past few years, people talking about like if it will come back, blah blah blah. And then I saw a message of, a couple weeks ago where people were talking about like actually bringing it back, and I was like, well, if it's gonna be brought back, like it would feel disappointing to me if it was brought back by like other people. So I kicked myself in the butt, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll get this going. And what really sold me on it, and here is are you ready for the big announcement?
Yeah, this is crazy.
The big announcement is that RH, our wonderful guest of this episode, is actually going to be joining me as a permanent co-host to the High Quality Podcast.
Wow! Yay! That's crazy! Oh my god, I could never have expected this.
Which is good because I feel honestly in this hour and 40 minutes we've been talking, I'm like I feel like we could keep there are still things that I could
There's
hear
still
from
a lot
you,
of
and
stuff
we
to
could keep
talk
talking
about. And I'm like such a huge SiIva nerd that I will enjoy asking people about their SiIva contributions and stuff. And I know a lot about what people contribute, so it'll be nice.
Yeah. So anyway, RH messaged me. He was like, "Yeah, I've been thinking about bringing it back, and honestly, I was just gonna ask you if you like wanted to bring it back and do it with me." And I was like, "You know what? That sounds like a phenomenal idea."
Yeah.
So, but my one condition was like, if we're gonna do that, I want to do an episode with just you first, because that is something that I've always wanted to do, and I'm glad that we did.
Yep.
So now that we've got this one out of the way, here's what I will say for those that are curious. Season 1 of the High Quality Podcast was a nice, crisp 7 episodes, and that is what I'm going to publicly commit to here. So obviously we've got this one recorded. RH and I we're gonna record 6 more. We'll probably we'll start putting them out before they're all done, but I want to make sure we have at least a couple more recorded before I start uploading them. And then if we hit all 7 and things are going smooth and we can keep doing it, we'll see where we go from there. But at the very least, look forward to the rest of season 2 of the High Quality Podcast. And for now, I'll just say again, thank you, RH, for not only joining me this time, but for playing a huge hand in helping bring this back. And I'm excited to keep talking to you and talk to the rest of our guests in the other episodes. I think it's going to be fun.
Facts. Let's run it.
Checked. All right.
Cool.
I think that's going to do it.
That was good. All right. Thanks for doing this. This is actually nice.
Yeah.
We're still recording. I'm going to cut the recording.
Yeah, go ahead. I will say see you all in the next episode of the High Quality Podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. Oh wait, did you stop your recording already?
I did. I can turn it back on.
It's okay. I have the backup that I can just use. If you want to, do you want to like plug yourself anywhere? Do you want to promote anything?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Cool. I'm actually trying to think.
You're not really you don't really use like Twitter or Blue Sky or anything.
I don't use any of my stuff.
Yeah.
They can follow me on Instagram. I'm kidding. Don't actually do that.
All right. So don't look up RHMan anywhere. Don't follow him anywhere. And see you next time. All right. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.